Good morning, this is Dominic with TheBackVlog. Last night, my fiance and I finished the Death Note anime. I don't know if you could hear her. She just sneezed and Robin is sprinting towards her now. I had seen this when I was younger. I never finished it though. Yeah, I saw this at an age when, I shouldn't have been watching it. I was probably like, I don't know, I may have been like 14 at the time. Which I guess isn't like the worst. I don't know, maybe it was younger than that. I really don't know. I hope you can't hear her sneezing. But yeah, I had never finished it. I got to, I think like maybe a third of the way through. I'm going to talk about spoilers for this show. So if you haven't seen this somehow by now, one of the most popular anime series of all time, go watch it. Just go watch it. But I definitely didn't get to the part where Elle died. I never got there when I was younger. I had read the manga years ago though, like all of it. So like I already like knew the story going in and everything. I guess I am kind of surprised that this anime, I mean at least like for the majority of it, I feel like it kind of tapered off after Elle died. But it didn't feel like cheaply made or anything. Like it was animated really well. The art was really good. I did notice like as the show was coming to a close that like I feel like the quality of the art started to taper a little bit, and I don't know if that's like just like a bias thing or like because like the narrative I don't think was the strongest by the end, and I don't know if that negative view of that was kind of like affecting my perception of every other aspect of it. I think it's really easy for a studio to just, put out an anime of a popular manga and then not put a lot of effort into it. I think that happens a lot. At least I think it does. I'm glad I listened to the opening song again because throughout the years, the beginning of the song would just kind of like play in my head with my ADHD brain, and now I have the full context as to how the rest of the song goes, and I'm so happy about that. My fiance didn't like the second opening, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people didn't like the second opening. I really did like the second opening. It was like, it reminded me of like System of a Down. Because like it had like that chuggy like nu metal feel to it, and there's like death metal vocals, so it's not like nu metal vocals, but like it really felt like a System of a Down track. It was really cool. And then the blast beat like speed metal thing, it reminded me of like the Michael Haneke's Funny Games, the track that plays for the opening credits when the family's like sitting in the car, and like that really disgusting like screaming and just it's so guttural and aggressive, and there's like no iota of music whatsoever. That's like what the What's Up People part of the Death Note opening is to me. I don't think it totally fits the show at all, but I like the song nonetheless. And I like the closing ending too. I think obviously the narrative of the show is really good up to the point where Elle dies, because it's like it's two characters trying to outsmart each other, and the inner monologues that they have is so expressive, and I think it's just really cool. It's less about the fact that Light is using the Death Note, and it's more about the fact that he is like leaving these breadcrumbs, and Elle is refusing to eat them because he would rather have a steak dinner. But then, after he dies, they bring in Nier and Mello. And I feel like at this point, like, the show was just kind of like rushing to get to the end, because you don't really have any sort of introduction about Nier or Mello at all. I mean, Nier is literally just L, and Mello could have been a better character, I feel like, but he didn't really do a lot. Like, all he really did was kidnap people and then crash a truck. That's basically all he did. I feel like the conclusions that Nier was drawing were just like too convenient. When L was figuring stuff out, he really had time. The show gave him time to breathe and, like, you know, figure out other options, other possibilities that might be happening. But Nier was like, no, this is happening, and I'm positive about it, and he's right. And it just like he felt like there was a prescience to him that it didn't really feel unfair, because I don't know if that's the right word, but it didn't really feel like authentic, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. It just felt convenient. It was just too convenient. And I think whenever Light brings Mikami on board, like, he has like an episode worth of an introduction where you get like his entire life story. And like, I'm guessing maybe it's just because like Legend of the Galactic Heroes is spoiling me, because you know, it gives you an episode for the smallest detail, and everything is so like fleshed out and everything. You know, it felt like it was just shoving this dude's backstory down my throat without any organic time to let it grow. You don't really meet any of these characters at all. Same thing with Takara. She's in the show, but I feel like they just kind of bring her back because they were like, oh, this is a person that showed up for like 2 seconds in the past. Let's bring her back so we can make her part of the plot, without kind of like implying that she was part of the plot the whole time. I feel like that's the problem. It's like when you have minor characters in like Legend of the Galactic Heroes or something who end up being major characters, they're at least there every so often. But like, these people are either there once and then we're supposed to accept the fact that they're part of the main plot now, or you've never met them to begin with, and then you're like, okay, so this is happening now. It was paced like a speeding train crashing into a mountain, whereas like, you know, before it was slow and methodical, and like it's just jarring how much it changes. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, but like it doesn't feel as rewarding to get to the conclusion. But like, don't get me wrong, because the conclusion was necessary. You know, after all the shit that Light pulls in the show, like, he definitely needed to be put down. But, you know, I don't feel like we really needed to, you know, condense that all into like 8 or 9 episodes. You know, you could have let that grow more. And that's a symptom of the manga too, because that's exactly how the manga was paced as well. So I don't know, maybe the writers were just trying to get to the next thing or something. Maybe they were just sick of Light, like I was. So, you know, this is like it's like a thriller kind of thing. You know, there's essentially what is a serial killer and an agency hunting the serial killer down. And I think it's very important to note that Death Note pays homage to David Fincher, which, you know, this thing is very Fincher-esque, this show. But, and I don't know if, I don't know how many of you noticed this, but next time you watch Death Note and Light is killing an American by writing his name down in the Death Note, you'll notice that the American's name that he writes down in cursive is David Fincher. which I found very funny. And that's definitely that was definitely intentional too, because when you consider like Seven or Zodiac, you know, this is it is very similar to those. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Death Note, directed by David Fincher. It was good. It was really good, up to a certain point, and then it didn't get really bad. It just got like it was still enjoyable. It was just like, okay, well, at least this will be over soon. You know, that's what Death Note felt like. Like they don't even have Near or Mellow on the cover of the thing. It's just Light and Ill. They know that they suck. You know. Sorry if you like Near and Mellow.